found the actual killer of Charlie Kirk, right?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
They are just approaching now. We did hear earlier US President Donald Trump reporting that the suspect is in custody. Let's take a listen.
At today's press conference, we will hear from Governor Cox, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Sheriff Mike Smith. We also have with us Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, and local and federal law enforcement partners. Following the remarks today, Governor Cox, Director Patel, and Commissioner Mason will take questions. Thank you.
And this young person seems to be the person that was at one of his rallies, right? So this young man apparently had a song. I'll just show you guys a quick some of the pictures of this young man. So he was one of the people debating Charlie Kirk, and I don't know, even in his responses, you could notice a couple of things that he was really angry and really frustrated with Charlie, and he really did not like him at all. You know, as they were exchanging, a couple of words here and there, you could tell that he wasn't speaking from a good place. He just hated the person and what Charlie stood for, even though he claimed to be, on the same side as him, But it seems like there were some things, like some values that were a bit different on his side. And for some reason he started even attacking his, when you are having a debate, it's always about sharing ideas, right? It's always about sharing ideas and having those ideas challenged, right? But with this case, he started attacking even the very character of Charlie, even attacking whether he is educated or not.
Lies. Hey, no. He's a liar.
So, okay.
He can't debate. He just lies.
Okay, so let's just
What,
calm
you don't
down
like
a little
freedom
bit.
of speech?
Well, I mean, you could say whatever you want if you want to make a fool of yourself, but we do have like 10-year-olds here and 11-year-olds, so can we have some decency?
Whatever.
Okay, you don't care. You're a typical leftist because you only care about yourself,
Who said I was
not
a
about
leftist?
the other people.
Who said I was a leftist?
Well, it's very clear by how you're acting.
Do you even graduate college?
No.
In
this
fact,
guy
didn't graduate
I didn't go to
college.
college. I've been able to be pretty successful
You did
without
not
a 4-year
graduate
degree.
college.
Yeah, I did not go to
You're going
college.
to come to college and act like you know.
So,
better
are we
than
gonna
everybody?
debate resumes or ideas?
Ideas.
Most college degrees are meaningless, and most of you guys are being totally scammed by being here.
No.
Now, let me further complete the point.
So getting educated is a scam.
First of all, it's not always an education, and you are perfect evidence that you haven't really been educated. You are hyper hostile. You have no humility. You have very little wisdom about how the world works, and you come and you want so badly to be recognized and noticed, you came with your own bullhorn to cut in line someone who patiently waited to ask the first question. What have you actually learned at this institution except that you're the center of the world and everyone must listen to you?
You go to countries, or you go to campuses and agitate people for like this exact scenario.
I sit here and ask questions. You're the agitator, not me.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah, correct. The students want another question, and I do agree with them because you embody the worst of this generation.
Are you looking in the mirror?
I do look in the mirror. You know what I see? I see a sinner that wouldn't act the way you do.
So we noticed that there was something personal, a personal agenda behind his questions and behind how he approached the debate. So looking at how it even ended, because it did not end in his favor, he might have taken that thing very seriously, and it might have really offended him, and sometimes because of how we are raised up and brought up, sometimes can really influence how we respond to certain situations and how we reason in certain conversations, right? And that's one of the things that I picked up from this young man, that this young man is, even Charlie said something. He said that you are worse than the sinners I've met. You are worse in your behavior. A person's behavior tells a lot about them and how emotionally intelligent they are, and how they conduct themselves as people, how they conduct themselves in society. So with this young man regarding Charlie, it wasn't really much of, I would say, yes, it was a surprise, because all of us, we thought that the person that they had suspected before, I don't understand, why was he taken into custody? I don't understand, why was that old man pinned down, or was that part of the whole thing, like to cover up that young man, or I don't know. But this is something that I really wish somebody would really find out. And also there was somebody else who's also a person of interest to me personally, was that guy who was celebrating after the shooting. Why was he celebrating? Was he also part of the whole group, or was he just one of those people that just didn't like Charlie? I don't know. I'm just saying that these are some of the things that we really need to put into perspective. One of the other things is this. Let's look at the spiritual side of things. Charlie stands for everything Christianity, right? This young man claims to be, I don't know if he claims to be a Christian. He said he's on the same side on one of the videos. But the thing is, remember that demons and how they operate, they can use your emotions against you. So you can act on impulse or just emotion and be able to do something that you might later regret, right? So the thing is, I don't think like it was a mistake or anything. He acted both on impulse, but also I feel like spiritually it was something that was orchestrated spiritually first. You understand? Because even in his that debate, if you're looking at his behavior and how he's responding out of anger. And the more the anger is, it's as though the more you have anger inside of you, it's easier for demons to take a hold of you and to use you. You understand that? So with him, it started, I think that anger boiled over and the demons used that as a way to destroy and to kill Charlie. All right? In any case, we will see. I want you guys to just look at some of these videos and everything and the pictures as well. This young man looks very innocent from the pictures that you see. Looks very innocent, looks like somebody who's just, another young man, very young, and, So I'm trying to figure out that how do you get from this standpoint of debating somebody and then later on killing them, literally going to shoot the person. The boy, I'm trying to also understand this other part as well. The young man, there's pictures of him holding, these, what is this, sniper rifles, right? And you can see that he's at a training base. It's like a training base of some sort. It doesn't look like it's just another, deer hunt or something. It looks like he was trained. Why was he being trained for things like that? I'm trying to figure that out because he had aim. And from the video of, if you look at the close-up and the zoom of the shooting, right, you will notice that the bullet ricocheted from Charlie's vest to his neck. I don't know if you saw that video, but there's a video of the bullet ricocheting from his chest. I mean, from the vest, right, from the bulletproof vest, all the way to his neck, right. So it means that he was aiming for his chest, and then, somehow it still hit his neck. You understand that? Okay. So, but it shows that this was calculated. For those people, I'm trying to also give you guys perspective on another thing again. There's a division within the community, both everywhere in the world. There's people who liked Charlie, there's people who didn't like Charlie. There's people who liked what he stood for, and there's people who didn't. So, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, because now the people that are against Charlie, they are fighting for this young man and saying, no, this young man should not spend the rest of his life in jail. And my thing is, when did we get to this point where death is no longer of value anymore? And we look at a person who shot another person, and we say, no, we are looking at the future of that person. What about the family of the person who lost? I mean, who died? What about them? What about the loss and the mourning and everything? What about that? What about the pain? What about the fact that the person has already passed on? Who, Charlie was very young, 31, is very young. He had so much to live for and so much to accomplish. All of that has been cancelled because of this young man. And now you are saying we must have sympathy for this person, this perpetrator, this killer, this murderer. We're supposed to excuse him because he's young, he's like 20-something. Come on. People of God, I honestly don't believe in that. I believe that justice must be served. Honestly, justice must be served. I don't believe that this young man should be given bail. This young man must stand trial. This young man must deal with the consequences of shooting another human being. Where are these rifles coming from? Where were these guns coming from? Because the thing is, there has to be somebody who supplied him with these guns. And the thing is, a lot of us, we don't want to focus on the fact that this is actually murder. Now they're shifting it onto the whole thing that, no, he deserved. Some people were even saying he deserved to die and all of that. There were celebrities who also shared the same sentiments. There were people, workmen, working class people, right? Working class people who were also saying the same thing, that no, he deserved to die. Because the thing is, these days, I want to share this with you guys. If you have a voice in this generation, they will find ways to silence you. If you have a voice in this generation, pastor or not pastor, or a politician, whatever you are, as long as you have a voice and you stand for something that is right, I'm telling you, they will want to silence you. Whether it is through a gun or through any other means, they will find a way to silence you. But that does not mean that we must keep quiet. The truth must always be said. The truth must always be exposed. The truth must always be shown to the people, be shared to the people. Because the thing is, right now, a lot of these things that have been happening behind closed doors, they are now coming to the surface, and a lot of characters are also coming to the surface because of this Charlie death. Hallelujah. And I'm hoping that, more people, more things will get exposed as time goes. You understand that? In any case, guys, this young man I believe that he deserves jail time. I don't know how long, but it has to be jail time. It has to be jail time, and even if it's 25 to life, please give it to him, because shooting somebody in public, what about the traumas of the people that were close to Charlie during their shooting? What about them? They also need to be thought after, because some people have never seen anybody getting shot at close range. You understand? So please, children of God, let us discuss this thing. Let's meet in the comment section. I hope that this will help us see a couple of things. But I believe that this thing is really unfair, how the world is so insensitive to death, so insensitive to how we perceive somebody getting killed, how we've trivialized the whole thing, and we've made a mockery of death and everything. I believe that, as long as there's people like that in society, I don't think we are ready to move on. I don't think we are ready to maybe change how things are seen in society, because most of us, we take these things very lightly. We take a human life very lightly. We think that when a person dies, it's just another thing that happens. It's like an animal that dies. No.
We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th, in which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well.
Life is very precious. A human life is very precious, and we must treat it as such. Hallelujah. I hope that you are blessed by this message, and I hope that we will be able to discuss this in the comment section. I will see you guys next time. God bless you. I'll see you guys next time. Amen.